to Hospitality Property School. You are listening to Hospitality Property School with your host, Gerry MacPherson. I'm your host, Gerry MacPherson, and today we're going to talk about setting up your property's organizational structure. So you made a conscious decision sometime in the past to operate a hotel, an inn, a bed and breakfast, or a resort. The idea of being your own boss was really appealing. You visualized spending your days chatting with your guests, sharing stories, and being known far and wide as the friendly innkeeper. It was a delightful and romantic vision. Move up to today. Now, to be fair, occasionally you might have days like this. I have spoken to many owners and managers who more often than not find themselves in their office, taking care of the accounting, replacing staff, trying to put a marketing plan in place, trying to keep the rooms filled. Your time for chit-chatting with guests has become less and less. You're feeling tired, but the idea of taking a day off is not always possible. You feel like you have to be on site or things will fall apart. The romantic vision you had when you began now feels like an unrealistic notion. Does any of this sound familiar? If you can relate to any of this, then it's time for you to step back and reevaluate your property's organizational structure. So, the first thing you're going to have to do is change your mindset. Now, this might sound a little strange, but instead of thinking of yourself as the friendly innkeeper, think of yourself as a franchise owner. Now, you might be thinking, that sounds a little strange, and I have no intention of ever becoming a franchise owner, but hear me out. Think of some of the most successful franchises in the world. The first one that pops into the minds of many people is McDonald's. So let's use it as an example. You can travel to the four corners of this planet and find a McDonald's. And you know if you're going to stop in and order a Big Mac or French fries, the food's pretty much going to be the same. Why is this? It's because they have checks and balances in place that are consistent for every McDonald's, thus creating a functional organizational structure. If you buy a hamburger in Dusseldorf, Germany, or in Toronto, Canada, you will see the pickles are placed on the meat exactly the same way. This is not done by accident. Much time and research went into determining how pickles should be placed on a burger so they won't slide off. Now think of your property. You are now a franchisor. You want to have an effective organizational structure. What are the different job titles or responsibilities that are required to run your business effectively? Think big picture. Think corporation. You'll need a president and a chief operating officer who is responsible for the overall success of your property's objective, and they report to your shareholders. You will need a vice president of marketing. They are accountable for finding customers and new ways of providing those customers with a wonderful experience. They report to the chief operating officer. You'll need a vice president of operations, accountable for keeping customers by delivering to them what is promised by marketing. They are to do this with great efficiency so as to provide the customer with an amazing service. They report to the chief operating officer. You'll need a vice president of finance, responsible for supporting both marketing and operations in the excess of their account abilities by reaching the company's profitability benchmarks and by securing money whenever it's called for. They report to the chief operating officer. You will need a sales manager, an advertising and research manager who report to the vice president of marketing. You'll need a production manager, a service manager, a facility manager who report to the vice president of operations. You'll need an accounts receivable manager and an accounts payable manager who report to the vice president of finance. Now you might be thinking, Gerry, are you insane? I only have a small property. I don't want or can't afford to hire this many people. Well, the good news for you is You don't have to. Take a look at your property and decide, in a perfect world, what positions you would like to have and what the responsibilities would be. Write down these positions and then assign these positions to yourself and to your current staff. More than likely, you're going to be taking on multiple roles. Probably, you'll be taking on most of the roles. Once this is done, you're going to have to look at each of these roles individually, because they are going to require their own operations manual. This manual will include the responsibilities assigned to each of the roles, along with complete checklists of what is required to complete each responsibility. The operations manual will be a tool you will use in the future for anyone who steps into that specific role. Over time, these manuals will help your organization run like a well-oiled machine. Now, this might sound like a lot of work. Well, it is. But you're going to have to start somewhere. Now, I would like to hear if you use operation manuals for your property, and if it works for you. If you would like to share or have any questions or feedback, leave them in the comments section of the show notes at KeystoneHospitalityDevelopment.com. That's it for this session of Hospitality Property School. We appreciate your comments, and if you have any topic ideas, feel free to reach out to us on Facebook at facebook.com/KeystoneHDC, on Twitter at twitter.com/KeystoneHDC, or by email at info@KeystoneHospitalityDevelopment.com. So as always, let's work together to put heads in your beds. Until next time, have a fun day. This session of Hospitality Property School has come to a close. Be sure to subscribe so as not to miss any hospitality property tactics and strategies that will help you find the success you have always dreamed of. And don't forget to rate and review so we can continue to bring you the best content possible. We will see you next time, right here in Hospitality Property School.